It's time for an expert fantasy football draft. Let's get it. Doing another recorded Best Ball Mania. We're in the 6-hole. 6-hole is one of the best spots to draft from. We've got a username here by the name of 5-time champ. Well, I'm a 3-time Best Ball champion. Going to try to win Best Ball Mania again today. This is draft number 114 for me in Best Ball Mania. Let's get it. Let's get it. 106 means we're going to be looking at either Saquon, Justin Jefferson, or Jahmyr Gibbs, probably. Sometimes CeeDee Lamb, occasionally Bijan. Yep. Going to be either Saquon, Jefferson, or Gibbs. Gibbs goes. So really, it's whatever Tej wants to do here. He goes McCaffrey, giving us the choice. I think we're going to do Saquon this time. Let's do Mr. Saquon. For most of the draft season, he's been at the 102 in drafts. And recently, he's fallen to the 105, the 106. On pretty much all formats. I mean, he got there on a lot of long runs last year. Eagles O-line, they're losing some guys. Some regression on his long touchdown runs should be expected. At the same time, if we go to the Eagles playoff schedule, this is courtesy of beatbestball.com, my fantasy site where I offer rankings and articles. We can see that the Eagles in week 15 get the Raiders. That feels like a smash. Week 16, they get the Commanders. The Commanders were quite the run funnel last year. And then they get Buffalo, a team, my hometown team, or the team I root for, a team who's definitely been susceptible to the run in the past. Buffalo added a lot of pieces in there for their D-line. But yeah, definitely a team that, you know, we saw Jonathan Taylor drop like 50 points on them one year. So with Saquon, we could do Saquon and A.J. Brown. Let's do that today. Let's make a concentrated Eagles bet. Not something I think I've done in Best Ball Mania. Running back, wide receiver in general is just positive correlation. This can benefit me a lot of ways. You could, Saquon could have a big week 15 of the fantasy quarterfinals and week 16 with A.J. Brown just having okay games. And then Saquon would be high owned in the finals. A.J. Brown would be low owned. And then A.J. Brown drops 40 week 17 and we win Best Ball Mania, right? So in general, we're making a concentrated Eagles bet, which seems fine for me. I think in an ideal world, we would add probably like Josh Allen, try to stack up the game of Eagles versus Buffalo week 17. Definitely a game with two high-powered offenses, two decent defenses as well, but generally offense wins when two teams show up. That game could be quite important for both of those teams standing-wise, where Eagles, Bills, both teams should be in the running for the 1 seed, if not, obviously, the playoffs. So late in the season, could see really an iconic game. Maybe a little snow game. I believe that game's in Buffalo. Yeah, the game is in Buffalo. So maybe a Josh Allen. If not Josh Allen, maybe Jalen Hurts in the 4th or 5th. Don't feel I need to get Hurts when I have Saquon and Brown, but wouldn't hate it. Lamar goes. Lamar exited practice with an injury. Probably going to be fine, but did happen. Don't believe he practiced today either. This is recorded on August 21st at 8 Eastern time. Trey McBride goes. So we should get Josh here, unless Tej wants to do it. He goes Kittle. So yeah, let's just go Josh here. Start the Bills-Eagles week 17 stack. The Bills have a ton of late stacks this year. Probably a team that, is just super undervalued in drafts as far as how many points this team is going to score. And people just assuming that last year was going to be the same offense, right? Keon Coleman's been getting a lot of buzz. James Cook could definitely also score a ton of touchdowns again. Dalton Kincaid could break out. Khalil Shakir could take another step. Josh Palmer could have 7 touchdowns. So, in general, high-powered offenses are good bets. Going elite quarterback is somewhat nice on Underdog as well. It means you don't have to decide between this logjam of wideouts. Marvin Harrison, Garrett Wilson, JSN, Mike Evans. It's like, oh man, all these guys are tempting. A little surprised to see Achane go at the 1-2 turn. He is falling in a lot of drafts with his injury. I'll be drafting him, but I want the discount on him. Cook goes. Definitely probably would have paired Cook with Allen, but he's been rising since his contract, and I've drafted a lot of James Cook, so don't need to do that in every draft. This guy's got the olds, Mike Evans and Adams. Kyron Williams, pick 40. Kind of a surprise. Would have been a nice click for me. Okay, so we're on the clock. You know what? We got the outdoor game with the Bills-Eagles. Let's get the premier dome game, Detroit at Minnesota. Get Jameson Williams, another spike week guy. Pickens I like as well, but we're going J-Mo. For those who sub to beatbestball.com, we'll have updated rankings tomorrow. Breece Hall, he's been falling in drafts. Would definitely be like Breece at like. I see Breece go in the 5th, so I'm trying to get Breece in the 5th, Josh Allen, of course, not someone you have to stack, but with so many of his stacking partners so cheap, but would seem kind of crazy not to have at least one of Kincaid, Keon, Shakir, Palmer, Ray Davis, Hurts goes, so we don't have to worry about, are we going to do both of them? I would have considered it. I'm not a never double elite quarterback guy, just a very rarely. Ricky Pearsall pick 51. That is definitely higher than he's been going most of the summer, but I get the enthusiasm. You never really know what you get in these recorded streams, unlike or recorded drafts, unlike the streamed ones. Man, there's just something off about Xavier Worthy's profile picture. He's like tilted in it. He has like a neck beard. I don't know what's going on. He doesn't look like that in real life to me. Okay, so here, Ken Walker is quite tempting. I think we're going to do Walker. We have a ton of Hunter. I'm not in like Ken Walker used to always go in the 5th. And I was not one of the people who was chasing him up to the 3-4 turn. Like he started as a 5th round pick for most of the draft cycle. And then he just climbed to the 3-4 turn because I guess a couple fantasy football guys talked positively about him. And that was a no for me. Just because, the team could be bad. I think Zach Charbonnet year 2 is quite realistic. Like Zach Charbonnet is a really strong pick right now. There's been talks that Zach Charbonnet could just be splitting the work more, which is just logical to me. At the same time, Ken Walker has a skill set we love for best ball. Home run hitter. He is dealing with this foot injury. Now, it could be contract related with him. He's the same draft class as James Cook. So hard to say there. But yeah, just kind of a nice value on him. I have a ton of Travis Hunter, who also is a little banged up right now. And there's some chance I get Hunter at pick 67. So Ken Walker also gets to play the Panthers week 17, the team that allowed the most rushing yards per game last year. So this guy takes Joe Burrow without T. Higgins or Jamar Chase. I would not recommend that, but he did it. Just going to be hard. You got to think through, how do I win at the end? Do I win with Joe Burrow and none of his pass catchers? Probably not. Hunter goes. Bummer. Yeah, so almost certainly going to be a wideout. And I think we're going to do Debo this time if he's there. Top of the queue, too. For top of my ranks, that is. I think the Brian Robinson trade is great news for Debo as far as him just being, a big body type, a guy who could get a lot of rushing touchdowns in close. Terry McLaurin, of course, has not really been practicing too much. He's returned recently. Just a skill set that really fits the Cliff Kingsbury offense. So another quarterback or wideout who plays for a good team. Game theory wise, it's got to be a little bit rare to have pieces of like Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, and not have those quarterbacks. Have them with Josh Allen, that is. So a team I quite like. 3, 4 playoff teams. I like to bet on good teams. Bills, Eagles, Lions, Commanders, Seahawks. They could be frisky. O-line should be better this year. I like the squad. So we definitely want to get one of Shakir or Keon. Looking at their ADPs, Keon's ADP is 91 and Shakir's is 83. So that tells me that there is some chance Keon is there, but not a great chance. There's some chance Shakir is there, but not a great chance. So I could gamble that both are there, or I could just take one of them right now. I think I'm going to take one of these running backs, Swift or Pacheco. I wouldn't mind going Charbonnet with Walker too. Not something I would do a lot, but I'm okay doing it on occasion. Yeah, why not? Let's think through it. You know what? We're betting on the good teams. I do like Swift just a tad more than Pacheco, but we got the Bills, we got the Eagles, we got the Chiefs, we got the Lions, we got the Commanders. It's like we're drafting a playoff best ball team right now. Pacheco, for sure, could be a league winner. There is some chance that the Chiefs trade for like Breece Hall or something here shortly, which would kill Pacheco probably, but it's in the range of outcomes. Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, these guys could be traded too. Let's put Shakir and Keon in. See if we get lucky. Good so far. If we don't get them, we'll try to get Dalton Kincaid. Okay. We're holding our breath here, folks. Doesn't seem that logical to me that Jordan Mason goes so much higher in drafts than Zach Charbonnet, right? Like Zach Charbonnet actually is going to catch passes. Okay, there goes one. Now we got to hope for Keon, which Keon used to be available at the 8-9 turn, but he is logically rising, right? Like he definitely should be a riser. He's having a great camp. He's a great fit for the scoring format. Could definitely break out. ADP wise, we should get him. These guys all also have 4 or 5 wideouts, so you would think that they want to go running back, want to go quarterback. Got to get through one more. Man, it just feels so much better to get Keon. 2 we wanted. I almost drafted him straight up over Pacheco. And it's these things that can make a draft, right? Like you got to be willing to risk it sometimes, because getting Pacheco and Keon to me is definitely preferable to getting like Keon and Travis Etienne, So you just got to be willing to risk that you're not going to get Keon there sometimes for your stack. And it is what it is. But we took the risk. We got it. We're feeling great. We got Josh Allen, Saquon, Ken Walker, Isaiah Pacheco, A.J. Brown, Jameson Williams, Deebo Samuel, Keon Coleman. Yeah, Keon should be going up in drafts. It's hard for him to jump the Jacoby Myers of the world, but yeah, it's not going to be crazy if he outscores some of these wideouts. It's just not. You know, Josh Allen's not going to steal 10 rushing touchdowns every year of his career too. So things can change quick, right? Last year it was James Cook doesn't rush by the goal line. Then he did. Hope you guys are liking this pre-recorded content. Most of my content is live streams where I interact with the chat, but you know, we're trying to grow the channel. So like, subscribe, helps my self-esteem. Join the Discord. Link is below. Beatbasketball.com. Rankings, articles. Charbonnet goes, so we're freed from having to decide if we're going to do that. I love Rashid Shaheed. However, I did win Best Ball Mania with a Fields Josh Allen team. So are we doing it again? Why not? You got to get the gang back together. When I won Best Ball Mania 2, my quarterbacks were Josh Allen and Justin Fields. And that year, Justin Fields was not good. It was his rookie year, and he didn't play at all. Yeah, it's too far back here. It was 2020. But he contributed like 2 points to the roster. Justin Fields is drawing very live to be a smash as well. Just a very best ball friendly quarterback. Should have some huge spikes. Some bench risk if he just sucks. But we're covered with Josh Allen there. It's a little bit expensive in quarterback as far as just having a 3rd round pick and 9th round pick in it, but I don't hate it. 2 of the best rushing quarterbacks in the game. And we might still get Shaheed. Shaheed, Bateman, Kirk. I think these are the guys for me right now. Which we're guaranteed to get one of them. So getting Bateman would be fun, kind of continuing this theme of like good teams. Eagles, Ravens, Bills, Commanders, right? Like that's quite tempting, but I think I have to take Shaheed if he's there. I just like him more. Let's think about it for a second, though. Man, kind of hope someone had taken Shaheed, but yeah, we were going to take Shaheed with the last pick. I'm not as worried as others about the Saints being terrible. Like a quarterback's going to throw for yards and touchdowns there, right? Rashid Shaheed is good at football. At a certain point, you just have to close your eyes and bet on talent. Bateman, though, he would have fit the theme. Christian Kirk, he's a brand guy. He's been on every single best ball winning team of mine. So he was a tempting pick too. But quite nice to have 2 elite quarterbacks, 3 running backs I feel good about, and 5 wide receivers I feel good about, right? So it's like I just don't have a tight end. That's fine. Some chance we get Bateman. Would be surprised if the Lamar drafter doesn't take Bateman, but not everyone believes in stacking. This guy's leaning into the risk. Godwin and Mixon. Man, Godwin and Rice. Godwin is a tough click for me right now. Man, Bateman goes. I wonder if this guy's upset, the Lamar drafter. Think we're going to go tight end. We love Kincaid, but I think we'll take the ADP value of Njoku if he's there. Njoku, I think, is just underpriced as well. And Kincaid's one of my highest drafted players, so okay. If we're forced to do it, we're forced to do it. We were setting up for someone else. Tootin is also fun with this running back room. Brian Robinson, I think, is also a reasonable pick. Like he's going to play football this year. You know what? Are we going to do B-Rob? Let's do it. Like, this is the price I think we should be taking, B-Rob. He's going to play football for someone. It's pick 126. Some chance Kincaid is there for my next pick. Not a high chance, but some chance. I know Kincaid, yes, he stacks with Josh, but I have a ton of Kincaid. I don't have any Brian Robinson in picks 126 plus. And, like, he could land with the Texans. He could land with the Bears and be their David Montgomery. He could land with the Dolphins and, be their Raheem Mostert. Like, there's a lot of outs to Brian Robinson being fantasy relevant this year. Wow, Josh Palmer goes. So there goes that one. I feel good about getting one of Kincaid or Goddard. This guy goes Penix and Pitts. These two teams have two tight ends, so they're not doing it. So it's really only this team, or this team who's going to take a tight end on us, I think. So there's two tight ends, and there's only three guys that could take them. Okay, so we just got to fade the guys next to me going Kincaid or Goddard. Assuming that these guys are not going to go triple tight end, which I doubt they will. Anyone but tight end. Okay, tight end goes. Don't go Kincaid. Don't do it to me, man. Again, sometimes you can get your cake and eat it too when you risk it. Kincaid, 9 picks past ADP. Woo! Sound check if you're wearing earbuds or whatever. I mean, come on. That makes you feel alive. We were going to go Kincaid before. We decided last second, let's get the fallen B-Rob, see where he lands. We get Kincaid anyways. Let's go. Feel good about it. So team feels strong, like feeling so good at running back and wideout. I'll probably go 3 tight end. Probably stop, you have to stop at 5 running backs with this group, right? You have Saquon, you have Ken Walker, you have Pacheco. You just have to bet that 2 of these guys are good, at least. Brian Robinson is there too. So call that 2 tight ends, boom, boom, and 4 wide receivers. Well, no, I didn't, but 2 tight ends, a running back, and 3 wide receivers. 2, 5, 8, 3. Wow. Crazy fall on Javonte. Not a guy I draft at all. All right, fine. This is how I like players who I don't draft at all. I'm going to mix them in when they're 15 picks past their ADP. And that's how you should do it, right? Like, if you don't like a player, but they're there a full round after where they go usually, that seems like a responsible time to get a share of them. Well, I was kind of looking for some more like young upside as my 5th running back with me having guys like Walker, Pacheco, Saquon, but just, I have some Jaden Blue. I have Miles Sanders. Javonte. He's probably going to be on the field. Gives you some week 17 with Debo. I don't know. I don't like him. I didn't draft any last year. And I think Spears was reasonable there too. I like Garendo a lot. So tough to pass him. I think we'll go one of these tight ends. Throw Kate Otten in there too. Kate Otten looking a lot stronger with all these Bucks injuries. A player I've always liked anyways. Wide receivers a little thin. Just get some guys in there. We feel no pressure at all to stack Justin Fields. We're drafting him for his legs, So I kind of like Ertz more straight up, but we're going to do Hunter Henry for the week 17 correlation with Fields. The dream obviously is like Henry catches a touchdown or two. Fields rushes in a couple touchdowns. So we're done at running back. Probably one more tight end and 3 more wideouts. A 2-5-8-3. Feels good. 2 elite quarterbacks. 5 running backs who should all have roles week 1. Some of them strong roles. 5 wide receivers I feel pretty good about as our base. 2 tight ends I feel good about. We'll grab a third. We'll add some wideouts. And let's win Best Ball Mania 6 for $2 million. If this team ends up being the one, memorable picks will be like Keon falling back to us at the 8th. Kincaid making it back around to us in the 12th. By the way, like when you draft a lot of a player like Kincaid, that's a reasonable way to play it as well, where you take someone else, but he's there past ADP. So at least you're building unique Kincaid teams. Like if I just keep on taking Kincaid in the 11th, I'm not building unique Kincaid teams. I'm just jamming a player, So Ertz would be a fun third tight end. Otten goes ahead of Ertz in this one. Yeah. Super fun tight end room. Kincaid, Henry, Ertz. All 3 reasonable bets to have 6+ touchdowns, All 3 are reasonable to be the second-ish to third-ish target in their own offense, right? Kincaid, Shakir, and Keon are there. Ertz, Debo, and Terry are there. Hunter Henry. There's like a hodgepodge of guys. Diggs, Pop Douglas, Kyle Williams. But all of them could be, the second target in a given week. So really strong tight end room, I think. Adds to another Week 17 game that I like quite a bit, Commanders versus Dallas. Right? We have 2 pieces of the Commanders, and we have a piece of Dallas. I'm assuming Brian Robinson gets traded, but technically he could also be a piece of the Commanders. We got 2 pieces of the Bills with Josh. We got Saquon and A.J. Brown, so we got that game stacked up too. That game's probably underrated by most as far as Week 17 correlation go. Just going to be 3 wideouts for us from here. And kind of would like to get the rookies, Pat Bryant and Alec Ayamanor. Pat Bryant gives me correlation with Pacheco, some Week 17 correlation. Devon Vele did get traded somehow, some way for a 4th-round pick, so even less competition for Pat Bryant. Alec Ayamanor, a guy who I wasn't really into for most of the year, but he had strong motion numbers in the preseason, and he has pretty decent buzz. This guy goes Troy Franklin ahead of Pat Bryant. Franklin's getting buzz at camp too. Let's see how he generally drafted. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm in general going to be betting on the rookie. Ayamanor goes next. I'm probably not saying that right. Ioman or whatever. I think Jalen Wright got hurt at practice today, so we see Ollie Gordon go ahead. Okay. Yeah, I think Yoshi Voss is fun. Slayton's a guy I draft a ton of. Trey Tucker, rarely drafted guy who could be the 2. Malik Washington, kind of fun. Royals is just an upside bet. Kavonte Turpin, also an upside bet, more in like a given week type sense. Adonai Mitchell, we might get the trade for Alec Pierce might get traded. Diami Brown, I like still. I think all these guys are reasonable. We got to choose our warrior here. This will make or break you. Think we're going to do Yoshi Voss first this time. Continues the theme of just like awesome offenses. Deep threat for Joe Burrow. Like, how bad can that be? You know, there is risk that like Jermaine Burton pushes him or whatever, but he's a strong bet to just like MBS it in the right playoff week for you, aka catch a 50-yard touchdown. Like, that plays in this format. Bengals should be super pass happy. And, you know, people want to say he sucks because he wasn't that good when Higgins and Chase were hurt at times last year, but young players get better, folks. Case in point, Juwan Jennings, you know? Let's see. Week 17 correlation. Not a ton here. Turpin gives us some. Royals gives us some. I don't feel like doing like a Josh Reynolds or whatever for Fields. Curtis Samuel, he's back at practice. He's a tough click with him not practicing though. And I was drafting him somewhat early. Yeah, I think we're gonna choose one of these guys. I'm leaning towards Trey Tucker right now. Just very rarely drafted. Every source of media is claiming he's the wide receiver 2 for the Raiders. Geno throws a good deep ball. How bad can it be? You know? He's basically like Darius Slayton with less fanfare. Now, there's a risk that like he gets beat out by Jack Beck, Deontay Thornton. All of a sudden, he's the wide receiver 4. But you got to risk it sometimes. Malik Washington, also fun. Let's do Tucker this time, though. 2, kind of dart throws there. They score a touchdown at the right time, and they can make you a lot of money. Josh Allen, Justin Fields, Saquon, Ken Walker, Pacheco, Brian Robinson, Javonte Williams, A.J. Brown, Jameson Williams, Deebo Samuel, Keon Coleman, Rashid Shaheed, Pat Bryant, Andre Yoshivas, Trey Tucker, Dalton Kincaid, Hunter Henry, Zach Ertz. So don't really feel weak anywhere. Feel super strong at quarterback. Feel quite strong at running back. Feel good at wide receiver. Not the strongest group in the world with Keon as your 4, but feels nice to get Shaheed as my 5th. Past ADP. And then Pat Bryant is like the rookie upside bet to go with 2 veterans who should be running routes live to catch touchdowns at the right time. They could take a step too. And then tight end room feels really good to me, right? And Kincaid, Henry, Ertz, all of them could catch a touchdown in the given week. 3 offenses that are either good or should take a step. That's going to do it for me for this recorded draft today. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I appreciate you. Drop a comment below. All of that helps.